For my presentation, I will give a brief about the bile acid as a unique product and discuss also a brief and summarize about the function and the mechanism of the bile acid. And I will go through also to present one example of using bile acid in poultry, in broiler also as well here in China. For the content of this presentation, talk about 4 parts, the introduction and the mechanism and the application, and the last one, the overseas customer of La Chance Group. The introduction of bile acid, I would like first to mention that this product is halal, as we discuss now to the customer from Middle East, and all is Muslim. So this product is Muslim, don't contain any other products or other supplementation that may be interfere with our religious. Bile acid, the traditional, the commercial name is Ronin. Bile is sciences in the liver and stored in the bile acid and then secreted in the small intestine to assist in fat digestion and the triglyceride. If we talk about the function of bile acid, as we mentioned during the beginning of the seminar, there are major function of bile acid. We can talk about the major one of this. Like improve digestion of lipid and control the metabolism of glucose and the carbohydrate and the protein also. In addition, controlling the senses of hormones that secreted in the small intestine, and this is is endocrine hormone. And also, bile acid can support it and assisting in reducing the feed cost, and this is lead to improve the feed quality. The Ronin acid produced here in this bile, the concentration 30%, and we have two formula or two constituent in bile acid. Generally, there are three formula of bile acid or 3 constitution or version of bile acid. The difference based in the distribution of cholic acid and the carboxylic and hydroxyl acid and the methyl group also in this direction. We have the first one, DCE, that is the deoxylic acid, and the main one, chenodeoxylic acid. DCA has 77% bile acid, and the chenodeoxylic acid contain 23%. In this PPT, I try as soon as to summarize the bile acid mechanism and sciences, because if we talk about that mechanism and the definition and go through in detail about this, I think it is need at least one seminar or a series of seminar. So here in this one, we can show that bile acid is secreted from the liver from conversion of cholesterol to chenodeoxylic acid, and then stored to the gallbladder, or names also bile, and then secreted to the small intestine. In the small intestine, with the addition of lipase that's secreted from pancreas, together they digest the feed. Before lipase started to digest the feed, we need to prepare the food. That is mean to increase the surface area, that is to maximize the efficiency of lipase. That role is doing by bile acid. So bile acid starts the first role or the first step to prepare the digestion of fat. Then lipase started to digestion. Inside the small intestine, in the second part of the small intestine in jejunum, the digestion and the absorption is started. Here by SPT, the absorption of bile acid start here, and then go to the last part of the small intestine here. The most of bile acid to reabsorb it via portal 1 to return back to the liver. About 95% is reabsorbed again or return back again to the liver to reuse again and to resecrete it again in the liver and to recycle this situation. The remaining part, about 5%, is still in the large intestine. This part is going to be converted to secondary bile acid. Secondary bile acid, this conversion is done by microflora or bacteria that is located in the lower part of the small intestine. And the remaining part is that not converted or not returned to the liver is secreted in the feces. Here we can, this is a certificate that attained by the La Chance group from the Ministry of Agriculture in 2014, and this is to certify using the bile acid in animal nutrition. In this one, we can show how the process of manufacture the ronin to be able for using as a final product of animal nutrition. There are many steps, start from saponification and oxidative and until the last one of filtration and drying, and then package and then store and send it to the customer. The authority of our products that we are using the high quality product for manufacture bile acid, and our manufacture area and research and development is working hardly to improve the product and doing recent research to improve the product and to establish new product in this area also as well. For here we can show the mode of action or how bile acid can work in assisting for the digestion of fat. This is one of the main function of bile acid, in addition to that one that we listed as a beginning also here. We can show how the digestion is started. The drop of fat as a beginning is secreted by the bile acid, started to emulsification. After that, the pancreatic lipase to be secreted and then to make the micelles. Micelle formation, that is the available form to be absorbed in the small intestine or in the gut, and then to be sent to the lymph for secretion or stored in the body tissue. And here we can show this is the steps by writing in the wall. And for the final step, how they can move from the gut wall to the lymphatic system, and this is doing by lipoprotein and kilo-omicron. This carry out the free fatty acid from the gut wall to the lymphatic system and to store it off. The bile acid is secreted and manufactured by the liver. So liver is the important part and the important organ in our body, and is doing a lot of work and many of function. The 4 or 5 major functions that we can summarize here, that the main role for metabolism of fat and protein and the carbohydrate, and the bile acid secretion, and detoxification of bad material or something that make problem for our body, and activation the enzyme like ALT and EST, alanine, aminotransferase, and EST, alanine aspartate aminoferase. In addition, also he is storage the glycogen and the vitamins and the many kind of mineral also, and the excretion of leucorin and the cholesterol and the hormone. And for the last one, participate in synthesis of plasma protein like albumin that is making the clot if any hemorrhagic is occurs. So as we see here, there are many of function and a lot of work that the liver did this. That is mean he is more susceptibility for injury and to be burdened. If we come to the bile acid, how bile acid can protect the liver and enhance the small intestine. First one of this, he is stimulated the conversion or the transfer of very low density lipoprotein from the liver that is going from triglyceride. That is mean he is assist in converting triglyceride to very low density lipoprotein. If the triglyceride not converted to very low density lipoprotein, that is meaning he is stored in the liver. That is mean the fatty liver occurrence is occurred. And this is the main of the problem that we try to solve and we try to prevent. And why we talk about bile acid in this regard? Because bile acid, one of the main reasons is stimulated conversion of triglyceride to very low density lipoprotein. So we are now talk about the problem and about the solution. The second one in this is decreasing the toxification by removing the material that make harmful to the liver and decrease the efficiency of the liver. And also as a single molecule bile acid connected with the bile acid receptor, it is named FXR, farneside X receptor in the small intestine. After activation of FXR receptor, that is stimulate and activate the transcription of lipid metabolism and glucose metabolism. Combine all this function together, that is lead to improve the liver function and the animal health. Consequently, increase the average daily gain and the meat quality in polar and in animals. The new applications and some application of bile acids that used in current one and in before. In this here, 5 or 4 point. The first one that this bile acid is produced by the La Chance company. This is the first one produced in China and in the globe also. And as we mentioned also during this presentation and during Dr. Safi also, he mentioned that these play an important role in fat digestion. This is the famous one, and this is a common one, as all people know, that is emulsifier. Okay, it is emulsifier, but this is not all the main function. It is just one function outside of 4 or 5 major function also as well. For this part, we can show how bile acid can activate FXR that I mentioned last slide. FXR to activate, he needs bile acid. Without bile acid, he cannot activate it. What will happen if FXR activated? When it's activated, he is regulated and control gene expression. That gene expression involving and participating in lipid and glucose metabolism, and in liver regeneration and inflammation also. For the second, bile acid also regulates secretion of intestinal hormone. Which one of this, the important one, and this is also just recently discovered about 4 or 5 years ago. It is named glucan-like peptide 1, GLP, the abbreviation is GLP-1. What is the main function of GLP-1? GLP-1 is secreted in L cell in the small intestine, and also is participating in glucose metabolism. how he did this when the animal eats, that is the digestion starts, and then glucose start to produce, and then you need to balance this, to try to secrete the insulin to make the balance and the hormonal balance in the animal. And for the last one, and he can assist in decreasing the incidence of fatty liver, as we mentioned, converting triglyceride to FLD, so he can avoid storage the triglyceride on the liver. And this is make also a lot of problem and lost the producer a lot of money. And here is a cooperative with overseas customer. The network of La Chance is extended across the globe, from Latin America to North America to Australia to Asia to Africa. And there are also many of distributors of the company across the world, in Egypt, like Thailand and Vietnam and Turkey. Some of cooperative and the famous one like Invivo and the Cargill and Shellon, and in Egypt we have Dakalia, and in Jordan and in Chile also. In addition to major and the famous company in the world like Heidi Group and New Hope, one of the largest feed mill and feed manufacturer in the world, and the Legio and the Cofco. That is all in my side.